First of all, I think that the discussion about a bigger fiscal boost in Germany and Germany allowing more fiscal leeway in Europe under an SPD-led government, that this discussion is much overdone. Remember, the SPD candidate to be the next chancellor is the current finance minister, Olaf Scholz, who, in the sense, has for more than 3 years already presided over German finances and has been the key negotiator for Germany in European fiscal matters. So, of course, a new government would set new priorities, but I don't think that a Scholz-led government would really go for a big fiscal boost. There would be some more spending here, but also somewhat higher taxes there. The real issue to watch, in my view, is what happens to regulations, where, depending on the kind of government, if we were to get a government only by left-wing parties, the red-green tail risk, then more regulations may do more damage to the supply side than any little fiscal boost could lift the demand side.
Holger, let me ask you about the likelihood of that red-green coalition, because currently the left seems to be quite weak in at least the opinion polls on the federal level. So how much of a probability is that we get such a scenario?
Well, it's not the most likely scenario. I see a 20% tail risk of that. There are basically 4 potential 3-way coalitions that could govern. The point on the red-green is that it would be the only one where there would be no conservative or liberal element in it. If you look at the party manifestos of the Social Democrats, the Greens, and the Left Party, in terms of domestic economic policy, they're actually very similar. And hence there would be a natural coalition of the 3 in terms of foreign policy, where the Left Party is basically a fan club of Russian President Putin. That would not be an easy match. But if the Left Party were to promise to be quite silent on foreign policy, this may work out, and it may be more attractive for some Social Democrats to get more of their domestic agenda through that way than if the Social Democrats and the Greens would have to compromise with either the Conservatives or the Liberals in a coalition over their domestic economic agenda.
Another moving part in the this coalition-forming equation are the Liberals. They are often dubbed as the kingmaker, potentially kingmaker, in the upcoming election. So how do you feel about them and their role in the next government?
Well, the Liberals have a chance of about 50% to be part of the next government. They would be needed for what is called the Jamaica coalition. They would be needed for what is called the traffic light coalition. And they would also be needed for what is called the Germany coalition, judging by the flags of which the country, which is the blacks for the Conservatives, the reds for the Social Democrats, and of course the yellows for the Liberals. Their role will probably be in any coalition to make sure that there is not a significant tilt to the left in domestic economic policies. And that in a way highlights again the risk of a red-green government, the tail risk, if there is neither the conservative nor a liberal element in a future German coalition, then we might get a significant tilt in policies. Otherwise, the Liberals would, if they're part of government, probably prevent any dramatic change in German policies.